into The Return of Durant is once again Darkman trying to get his revenge on Durant because of what he did in the previous movie. Hey everybody, John Franklin Reviewer, and I'm continuing my Darkman trilogy. I'm on the second one, so let's just jump right into it. So what is it that I actually did like about this sequel? Well, the first thing I want to talk about is the replacement of Liam Neeson's character of Darkman, and the other actor who did it was Arnold Vosloo. Now, that's the name that, isn't really thrown out a lot in conversations. It's one of those, oh, that guy was from this or anything. And the thing is that this guy was from the Mummy movies, from the first two Brendan Fraser Mummy movies. There, he wasn't in the third one. And the thing was that I think he actually does a pretty decently good job of what he's told by the director and what the script must tell him what to do. Just like the first one, I definitely like the moments of humor in this. I won't say it's better than the first one, but it's actually pretty even when they do have their humor. I personally think it is. And also I want to say that I do like the makeup effects on Darkman. I would say, again, almost as good as the first one. I still think the first one of the makeup effects is a lot better, but I still think they do a pretty good job on that. And then the final, after Payton gets blown out of his building and everybody thinks he's dead, he ends up in a condemned building, and that's where he ends up doing all his science experiments. I like this one slightly better because he's underground, he's actually in the sewer, how he would get power and all that there. But you know what, I kind of do my disbelief in this movie for certain things, and this is one of them. And now on to the dislikes. Well, the first thing I got to talk about is the way that this movie starts off in flashback, where we have the other actor voice-overing what happened in the previous movie. But the thing was that, of course, they're not going to show Liam Neeson because he's not back in this sequel, so they pose this actor's face on the Liam Neeson's body and what happened to him and how he got destroyed with Durant and his gang. Well, the thing was that I think it's very disrespectful to Liam Neeson and to Sam Raimi, who directed that first one. I get the whole thing, show, don't tell, but I think whenever you're going to switch another actor like this, I would rather have just them talking about it than show it. There was a Silence of the Lambs ripoff, okay? There was a guy who was kind of in that little glass case like Anthony Hopkins was, and the thing was the wall gets blown out and it's Durant and his gang and they come get him. Well, Durant wants him because his vision, he's a genius and all that. Well, if you're in jail, you're a madman, plain and simple. Well, first off, I didn't really care for him with his acting along with anybody else's, but the reason why I brought this up was because of the Silence of the Lambs thing, and also I think that they also tried to rip off that if Doc Brown from Back to the Future was a psychopath. Because this guy, to a point, had kind of that Christopher Lloyd look from Back to the Future, so I really didn't care for that one bit either. And then talking about the street gang, just like the first one, that they pretty much tried to do the exact same thing in this one. The only difference was in the first one I mentioned that there was a little piece of paper that Durant needed to get for the bad guy. In this one, I think it made a little bit more sense because Durant wanted to actually buy this building, and hopefully this guy would have accepted the money and left. Well, the guy didn't want to, so they actually had to pretty much destroy him and kill him. The way things were going was I really thought they were going to turn this guy into like another Darkman. But yeah, they ended up just taking this guy out. And of course, Darkman tries to come save him, figures out, wait, this is Durant doing and all this here. I didn't really like that one bit either because you pretty much ripped it off where you already made Payton. You almost could have tried to make another person, which I thought would have just been a huge ripoff. Okay. Again, talking about more stuff that happened in the first one that I'm repeating in this one, because if it's in the same movie or in two different movies here, I'm going to talk about it if it still bothers me, and that's the flashbacks. Once again, I don't like the flashbacks. They do like these really odd special effects. They were really outdated. Most of the characters, as I mentioned, like this doctor, I was not intrigued with any of their acting. I really didn't care for a lot of people. And the only one I really want to talk about is Durant. I love Durant. He was a psychopath in the first one. But I didn't really like his acting in this. I really wanted to see more of him being a madman, and they decide just to kind of not even really use him that much. I just felt like what they did use of him it was useless. It was like you didn't really care for him. Complete opposite of what I liked about the first one into this one. I definitely thought the story was really slow. Definitely felt like that. Even though I think it was directed okay, I feel like the script could have been a lot more better than what it was. It just felt like that you're unfolding the story here and really not a whole lot's happening in this, so very disappointed. My rating for this is going to be 1 out of 4 stars. So Darkman 2, is this a movie that you've seen? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Give me a comment down below. Please like, please subscribe if you haven't yet. Stay awesome.